Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Northern Soul Reaper. I hope that everyone is staying safe, staying indoors, reading lots of manga and light novels and watching lots of anime. If you don't know me, I cover anime, manga and light novel content on this channel. I've just passed 170 subscribers and that is absolutely unbelievable. If you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It's a great way to get the content as and when it comes out. Today's video is going to be the first in what I hope to become a series on getting into manga and light novels. Ways to read, choosing a series, and even some recommendations of my favourite titles, starting a collection and whether that's right for you. So today I want to focus on manga and specifically choosing a title that appeals to you and the different ways to read manga. So let's get right into the video. First, I just want to say that if you're just starting to get into manga, welcome. This is a wonderful hobby that has the potential to tell countless stories that move and entertain you. I hope that this video is able to help you discover your first ever series. Now, in this video, I want to go over discovering manga and ways to read manga rather than giving specific recommendations. But look out for a future video where I will certainly be going over the titles that I would recommend. Now, I've been collecting manga since 2006. I bought my first volume when I was in college and I collected different series for a few years, but admittedly I fell out with collecting and reading for quite a while as other interests and my studies filled up my time. And well, life happened. It's only really been the last 6 months where I've really seriously gotten back into collecting and reading manga, and these tips and advice that I'm giving you today are just things that I've discovered along the way, and I hope that they're useful to you as well. When starting out with reading manga and choosing a series, it can certainly be daunting at first. There have been countless titles released over the years in numerous different genres, all telling their own story and all with their own unique cast of characters. In terms of categories of manga, you have some popular ones like shonen, which is for teenage boys, shoujo for teenage girls, seinen for adult men, and josei for adult women. But what I will say is that this is really just how it's categorized. I try to read manga in as many different genres as possible to expose myself to many different stories and perspectives. Just because something is shoujo, don't dismiss it as something you won't enjoy. Some of my favourite series are shoujo manga. The great thing about manga is that there's something for everyone, covering many different topics. You have romance manga, battle manga, manga about giant mechs, horror, slice of life, which is all just about characters hanging out and having fun. There's manga set in high fantasy worlds, cyberpunk sci-fi worlds, and everything in between. It might seem hard to pick something at first, but what I would say is a good starting point is to look at what TV shows, movies and novels that you enjoy, and to pick something similar. That's not to say that you can't branch out and read other titles later, but it's certainly a good starting point. So what about actually finding titles to read? Well, the place that most of us turn to these days when we're looking for answers is, of course, the internet. You might find it useful to go online and to look at what people are reading and find popular as a way to discover some titles to read. You may even find on Reddit and YouTube some reviews of titles to make those decisions even easier. YouTube is a brilliant resource when it comes to discovering titles. There are so many fantastic content creators on the platform, all talking about manga. When I first got into the hobby, I started by subscribing to a few different channels and watching their videos. From there, I was able to select some titles that appealed to me, and over the course of reading those, I found other titles in similar genres or by the same authors, and decided to give them a go as well. Over time, you will start to learn what you enjoyed reading or what you didn't enjoy so much, and that will help you with future decisions. Honestly, looking online is a great way to find out and discover the popular series. The community tends to gravitate towards what's popular at the moment and form communities and fandoms around their favourite series, so it's a great place to start. However, if you're not interested in reading what's hot at the moment, you might find it harder to narrow down your choices. Now, when it comes to discovering older manga series, it might be a little bit more difficult. Asking 10 different people to produce their top 10 list of manga will probably produce 10 completely different lists and probably start some arguments in the process. People's tastes change over time and some people hold series in higher regard than others. That's just how it is. It's the same with TV and film. It's just something to bear in mind. Now, asking friends or looking online for recommendations is all well and good, but no one knows your tastes better than yourself. One of the best ways to discover a new series is to look at what's on offer. Choose something based on the title, the cover, or the description on the back. Now, obviously, with the ongoing situation with the coronavirus pandemic, it's impossible to head to your local bookshop or comic book store for a browse. That being said, it's one of my favourite ways to discover a new series. Nothing quite beats the feeling of picking up a physical book with your own hands and looking over the cover, only to decide to buy it. I would recommend that when things settle down and we begin to return to some degree of normality, that you visit your local stores and check out what they have to offer. The staff are always knowledgeable and happy to help newcomers to the hobby in finding new manga to read. This last part probably applies more to specialised comic book shops than, say, a Waterstones. Now, the good thing about some retailers is that they also have online marketplaces. And whilst it's not the same as looking over the shelf in person, it's still a great place to look at what they have on offer and a great way to find some titles based on the covers. I'll leave some links in the description to Forbidden Planet and Travelling Man, which are 2 stores in the UK with online marketplaces. It's also great to support local businesses in these trying times. Now, continuing to talk about online, there's some other online retailers that offer a comprehensive list of manga titles to purchase, and you can often get a great deal. There's Amazon, of course. This often has titles at a discounted price, and if you're in the UK, Wordery and Book Depository are personal favourites of mine. They offer a great list of titles and they often undercut Amazon and are a lot cheaper at times. Book Depository also, I believe, offers global shipping, so that's an option for you if you're outside of the UK. One thing that I will say with online marketplaces such as Amazon and Book Depository, places that sell books and other products, is it's hard to often sort these titles out, so it might not be the best place to discover new series. So you've done your research and you've picked out some titles. How are you going to read them? Well, you just buy the book and read it, surely? Yes, this is of course one way to go about it, but in today's digital age, there are a number of different options for purchasing and reading manga available to you that might be better suited. With regards to buying manga physically, it's hard to separate it from and ignore the other aspect that comes with it. That is collecting. Buying and collecting manga physically is a commitment not just of your money, but also precious shelf space. Depending on the title, some of these series can run up to over 100 volumes. I'm looking at you, One Piece. Now, I love collecting manga and reading it physically. However, if I were to purchase every single series that I've ever read physically, I would have run out of space a long time ago. For me, collecting means something. It means that I enjoyed that series enough that I want to put it on my shelf and display it. I love it that much. So that brings us to another viable option: digital. Now, I want to go into a full in-depth video on physical versus digital manga, but it's a good idea to talk about it here as well. In recent years, reading manga digitally has moved on from visiting scanlation sites to read manga, and it's now a viable way to both read manga and support the industry. So, where can you purchase and read manga digitally? A few different places, as it turns out. First up, we have Comixology. This is an Amazon-based platform that has basically become the biggest online marketplace for buying and reading comic books, and they have manga as well. All the major publishers are on here, so it's safe to assume if there's a title you want to read digitally, you can find it on Comixology. One thing I will say for Comixology is that at one point buying digitally through this service, it was a little bit cheaper than picking it up physically. But in the recent months, I've noticed that a lot of publishers are putting their price up almost to on par with the physical price of their books. However, there's often a lot of sales on, so if you're patient, and you can often get that series you were looking for at a very good discounted price. It's just something to keep in mind when you're looking at Comixology. And in general, digital manga seems to be going up in price, and it just seems to be one of those things. It's a shame because I feel like you're sacrificing the actual physical book for a discount, basically, and to see some of these online marketplaces putting the prices up, even if it is the publishers, it's a shame to see. An alternative to Comixology is Bookwalker. This is a Japanese marketplace for buying and reading manga, which also has an international portal and reader app. The good thing about Bookwalker is that it has a lot of the same publishers and titles as Comixology, but there's an added bonus. Bookwalker has a coinback program. Each purchase you make grants you coins or points, which can be redeemed against future purchases. They also have different tiers based on how much you spend each month, which unlocks greater amounts of coins per purchase. The coins do run out, but I don't have much of an issue with spending them before this happens, and you can see all of the coins that are due to expire in your account page as well as your balance. So Comixology and Bookwalker are two great services that I use to purchase and read manga. But yes, I can hear you. We live in an age of Netflix where we can pay a monthly fee and watch whatever we want. Surely, I hear you cry, there must be a service like that for manga. Well, yeah, there is. So first up we have the Shonen Jump app. This is the official source of all of the titles that release in weekly Shonen Jump, and it's a great way to read the manga that they offer. Firstly, you can read the most recent titles for free, but they also offer a subscription service for £1.99 or $1.99 per month, which allows you to read their entire back catalogue, and the only restriction being that you can read 100 chapters a day, which in my personal experience is more than enough. They also have the option via the Viz Media website, who publish the Shonen Jump app, to purchase titles to read on the app digitally as well. So if you want to own them via the Shonen Jump app and read it and keep everything in one place, you can also do that as well. Through this app, not only do you have a great way to catch up on the most popular titles of the moment, like One Piece, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, and many, many more, but you also have a great way to sample series before making any purchasing commitment. For example, I read Dr. Stone on the app before making the decision to collect individual volumes physically. There's also Crunchyroll. It's known as the leader in on-demand anime streaming, but another benefit to subscribing to the premium membership is that it gives you access to a large library of manga titles to read on your PC or via a dedicated app. Mangamo is also an app that is just recently released on the Apple iOS store, and that offers a similar service basically just for manga. So you pay a monthly fee and you get access to the titles that they have. Now, Mangamo was released in the UK and some other territories, but due to a technical difficulty, it's just been taken down. So as of recording, it's not back up. However, they are going to relaunch it soon with a subscription and a free trial period of around 60 days, I believe. I think it's still up in the US as well, so go check that out. Apps like Mangamo, Shonen Jump, and Crunchyroll Manga are great choices for reading manga, as they offer you a huge variety of titles for a low monthly cost. They are a fantastic way to discover new manga titles, and you don't have any risk of buying something that you don't end up liking. You can simply stop reading. That being said, the caveat here is that you don't have access to every title ever, and as with any service, maybe with the exception of Shonen Jump, these titles may disappear as licenses and deals run out, but they'll always be replaced with new ones. These services thrive on new users and recurring users, so they're always going to be looking to bring new titles to the service. If you want to know more places that you can read manga online, I would definitely check out wherecanireadmanga.com. This is a website that was put together by the YouTuber UchuShelf, and it is a fantastic resource for finding websites and services where you can read manga, sometimes for free. I'll leave a description to the website and for Uchu's channel in the description. Definitely check those out. So to close out the video, I want to just end with some advice that I've come up with and discovered along my journey into getting back into manga. So the only person that it really matters to whether you read and enjoyed a series is you. Don't pick up something that you don't think you're going to enjoy just because it's popular, and don't be afraid to drop something if you aren't enjoying it just because it's popular. You're the only person whose opinion really matters, so if you're enjoying something, then that's great. In the same vein, it's easy to get wrapped up in haul videos and collection videos on YouTube and get into a cycle of buying manga for the shelf, collecting, and not really reading anything. It's great to have those full complete series that look lovely on the shelf, but it's also equally enjoyable to read the series that you've got, so make time to read and enjoy your manga. When I first got back into manga, I bought a lot of volume 1s in order to find different series that I would enjoy and what I wanted to read. This is a viable way to go about things. Pick up the first volume and see if you liked it and then continue with it. But I have also ended up with a lot of volume 1s of series and a lot of incomplete series, rather than some nice complete series that I wish I'd bought all the way through. So don't buy too much stuff all at once and lots of scattered things. Try to focus on a couple of series that you're really enjoying and read those all the way through and collect those all the way through and move on. Those other series are always going to be there to buy and read. I find it hard enough to keep up with the stories, never mind all the money that I've spent on different series. Don't be afraid to try something new and outside of your comfort zone of what you normally read. Some of the best stories in manga that I've ever read have been things in genres that I've never really thought that I would enjoy or what I don't normally read. However, my main piece of advice is to have fun. Find a series that you enjoy reading. Savour those rainy weekends indoors under a blanket with a hot cup of tea and your favourite series in hand. Welcome to this fantastic hobby and have fun with it. Enjoy your manga. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope that it was helpful and I hope that you discover your favourite series to read very soon. Let me know in the comments below what you end up picking up and reading, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and let me know there as well. I often post what I'm reading on my social media, so it might be a good place to pick up some inspiration as well. Look out for future videos in this series, such as physical versus digital manga, getting into light novels, and some others as well. If you like this video, remember to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's a great way to help the channel out and it really supports me as well. Thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed so far. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Northern Soul Reaper, and until next time, goodbye.